The mic calls the plays, gaming chair, endless days. Podcast that goes through the streams, living out our pixel dreams. Hit the button, go live, go live. In this realm where games survive, games attack with a rebel spark. We're lighting up the digital dark. Game on, game hard, streaming stars, we're never far. Game on, game hard, in this conquest we're avatars.
And hello everybody! And you do not need a code or a website to get on this podcast. This is the GamezAttack podcast, episode 116. As this podcast is called Online Outages, good for a Diskless era? Right here on OldFreakyGamer.com, folks. I am Mr. Mike, and this is the podcast about video games, the industry, and everything else that is gaming and maybe some non-gaming wise. Hello, how is it going? I wanted to try to do some voice work with my voice mod thing, but unfortunately I needed to sign into my account, even though it's a software you download and it's on your desktop and I've been using it forever. It's like, oh, Mr. Mike, you gotta sign in and log into your account because you haven't used it in a little while. And I had to I wanted to play that free weekend thing for WWE 2K26, and oh no, Mr. Mike, you need to have a 2K account to play this game. You can't just play the game because they're offering it to you, or we're offering, or it's a joint between Xbox and whatever 2K or whatever. But you can't just play the game even though you're downloading it from the Xbox account and to play your free weekend of the game. No, you gotta sign in to play any of the game. You know what I gotta say about that shit? Fuck you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm deleting the fucking WWE account. I'm gonna keep the voice mod account because I just, I paid for that before, so I'm not gonna delete that software. Eventually I'll log into that. But for the WWE game that I could have played for the free weekend, I'm saying 2K, go fuck yourselves. Because I'm not logging in. It wanted me to grab my phone, do a QR code. I tried to do it on my computer on the internet, and it says, nope, oops, it doesn't work on the computer. Oh, it's sorry. It's, even though it gives you the website and the code and all that stuff, it says, oh, you can't go in here. So I got to do it on my phone, you motherfuckers. Oh, so stupid. So go fuck yourselves, WWE and 2K. That's what I got to say for that. No free weekend for that game for me. I guess I'm going to just fucking delete it off my Xbox now because I'm not fucking making a 2K account and all that other bullshit. I might have a 2K, but I don't give a fuck. I shouldn't have to have an account for a game that you already know I'm downloading it on my Xbox with my Xbox account with my game, what do you call it? I can't even say it anymore. My Game Pass Ultimate account. Microsoft, Xbox should know all that shit. It should be connecting to you guys. You guys shouldn't need for me to create a separate account for that. You just want my account. You want me to set up an account with you guys so you could get my email, my address, and all this other bullshit so you could try to sell me stuff and send me a bunch of stupid emails that I don't want because you guys are fucking relentless. So fuck you, 2K. That's right. Fuck you, 2K. I just wanted to try out the WWE game to see if it was any good this time around and whatnot, and you guys fucking blew it. You fucking blew it. I was even gonna, maybe if it was good, I would have bought it. I would have spent because it's on sale also for like $23.99 or something like that. I'm like, it's been so long since I played any, current wrestling game, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should give this a little try ski or something. And then I go, I downloaded it. I, went on to my Xbox and clicked on the free-to-play days, downloaded WWE 2K 2026, hit play, went through all their 12 EULAs of bullshit that it's like, oh, it won't just let me hit A. I got to scroll all the way down their fucking pages, which you know I'm not going to fucking read. You fucking relentless assholes out there. It was like 3 pages. I said 11, but it seemed like 11 because I kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I wonder how many pages on each part of the EULA. There's a EULA for this, a EULA for this, and then your seizure word. Okay, if people don't understand there's flashing fucking bullshit lights and stuff in a game like WW2K26, you must be fucking retarded because god damn. What else would you have in there? Of course, there's going to be flash bulbs. There's going to be explosions. There's going to be all this stuff. So go fuck yourselves. I don't give a shit how retarded the kid is that he's going to get seizures and stuff. Then he shouldn't be playing any fucking game. I'm sorry. Because there's fucking flashes and seizures things all over the place. So why is this? It's just another annoying piece of fucking crap that, oh, the lawyers want to put it in because we could get sued because all these people got to fucking sue for everything. Sometimes I hate this goddamn world and what we have come with as a gamer. I just want to fucking get into the game and play some of the game, see if I like the wrestling in the fucking game, and that's it. I don't want to create no fucking accounts and stuff. If I like the game and I buy the game and I want to go online and do some other stuff or buy stuff, sure, maybe I'll create a fucking account if there's something that's worth creating an account for. But otherwise, fuck you. Fuck you, 2K. Same thing for every game publisher out there that wants you to log in. You gotta account to play this game. No, if I bought your fucking game, I should be able to just get in the fucking game. Wherever I bought it, I should be able to download it and just get in it. If I want to do some other stuff, like in your store or whatever, then I could create a fucking account. But otherwise, I should be able to just play the fucking game. And people should be more fucking annoyed by that shit, because I know I am. So, you know what, 2K, and fuck you WWE and all the people that are attached to that, because you know what? That is not an easy way. I'm not going to create a whole fucking go through like 10 minutes to, I got to type all this information, do this, and password, this. Do you want a two-factor authentication? Do you want the key code? Do you want this? Do you want your firstborn? Oh, go fuck off. I just wanted to try out the game, and you guys fucked it up, and I don't care how cheap the game is and whatnot. I say fuck off. I'm just going to not play your game. And that is it. Oh, that was annoying because I wanted to talk about another game that I would be playing for this past week. I wanted to try out something, that I haven't tried out in a while because most of the WWE games have been just relentlessly garbage. And I know this one was considered relentlessly garbage with all the advertisements and stuff like that, but I wanted to give it a try to see, maybe they fixed the wrestling part of it a bit that I used to like back in the SmackDown versus Raw days, where I was able to play the game and have fun with it and was not too much of this bullshit in every corner and stuff that they do nowadays. But I'm not going to do it because you guys had to fuck it over. You guys had to go, oh, we're going to create an account and do this and this. It's not like I'm downloading it from your fucking site. If I went to your 2K site to download it for like PC or something to do that, sure, I would understand if I needed a fucking code to play your fucking game. If it's on an established platform like Xbox or PlayStation or Steam, I should not have to fucking enter in any bullshit. That is just bullshit. I should just be able to get in the game. I should just be able to play the game for the weekend as it says, and then it says, oh, you're done for the weekend. That's it. If you can't make it that easy, then go fuck yourselves. Oh, I hate when people make fucking things difficult in this world. There's too many fucking things that are made too difficult or overly difficult that shouldn't be made difficult in this world. And nobody does anything about it. It's really disgusting to me nowadays that everybody likes to make things more difficult instead of easier. I personally, Mr. Mike, Gamer Boy Mr. Mike, like to make things easier, especially in my days. So just like everything else that I like to make easier, if you try to make it hard, I'm going to just tell you to go fuck yourself and I'm going to move on. That is my mantra now. It's Akuna Matata, go fuck yourself. I'm moving on to the next thing. And because you fucked up, that's on you. You don't make it easy for somebody like me. You don't want my money. You don't want my time. Well, then fuck you. I'm moving on up. So, to make things easy, I hopefully will make this podcast easy for you guys. Now, note, these podcasts come out to almost 3 hours and all that. Today, I am going to try to make it a lot less than that. I'm going to make it like an hour and 30 minutes. We'll see how that goes. I should put on my timer here. I know I don't got my timer in front of me. I got it like in this section, but I'll put the timer on now. And let's see if this works when I go back. Will it still be running? Yes, it will still be running. Okay, good. Okay, I got the timer on my other list here as long as it still keeps going. Welcome. This is a gaming podcast. It's not the Rantcast. That's a different podcast, but sometimes I got to let some shit out. You can't let it all be bottled in, folks. You got to let some shit out. And this is a gaming podcast about video games. And oh boy, is it about video games. I know I have a rundown here, and I usually, try to talk within my rundown, but sometimes I like to go off script and I like to talk about stuff out of order and stuff just because I feel like it and stuff. And that's how it goes. So a lot of the stuff on this outline, don't think it's in order of what I'm going to be talking about. Sometimes it'll be out of order. Just giving you a heads up, guys, because I'm going to start talking about some stuff. And also, for this podcast and next podcast. So I'm going to give away, I just bought 2 movies. I bought Mortal Kombat 2 and Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair on Blu-ray. They just came out. And they always give you these digital movie codes. And what I've been doing and what I usually used to do, and I'm going to do going forward whenever I buy movies and shows and stuff, and I got codes for stuff that I never use because I just digitize them myself from my disc to computer and stuff like that. I rip the movies. So you can get these movies for free yourself because I don't need the codes, and I'm going to gladly give you these codes. And instead of me just talking about the digital movie codes here in the podcast, it's going to be in the show notes. And I'm going to have one code today, whatever code I pick, and the next podcast I will have the code for that one on that week week's podcast. So, and it's a first come first serve basis, as you know, because it's only one code and it only works one time. So whoever thinks they might want like a Mortal Kombat 2 digital code to, I think, is it Movies Anywhere? Are these both Movies Anywhere codes, or does somebody have their own bullshit? Let's see here. Movies Anywhere. Yeah, these are both Movies Anywhere. Digital copy to redeem. When there was what was it called? Not GameFly. Not Netflix. It was what was that other movie rental service that had the kiosk that you can rent the movies from the kiosk? Oh man, I already forgot what it was called. It was called something. It was you know what I'm talking about. And they would they would get movies. Sometimes they would buy them and they get the movie codes and they would sell the movie codes because these are actual movies, and they would sell digital movie codes before they got like slapped on the wrist, because I guess that's a no-no. But nobody says I can't give away the movie codes, which I will. As little treats to you guys and like I said, it's first come, first serve. Whoever can get the code in and entered, you can get it for your Movies Anywhere if you felt like you might have wanted that. And you use Movies Anywhere. If you use Movies Anywhere and you use the digital code and stuff, hey, there you go. First come, first serve. Like I said, one this week, one next week. And when I get more movies in the future and they come with digital codes, I will put them up in my show notes. And I'll let you know when I do so as well. So I'm going to talk about this bad boy. I know you can't really see it. You can see a little bit of it right behind me here. This is my brand new chair, folks. This is my brand new office/gaming reclining chair. I got it off of Amazon, Mr. Evil Amazon. It's called the Respawn 900 gaming recliner chair. It has a footrest, a cup holder on the side here, and a swivel. And a swivel. It comes with a base, like a metal base, swivel base that you can just, when you put it together, because you got to put it together, it's on this metal swivel base. What I did instead, I bought a wheel caster, or I think that's what it's called, a wheel caster. I can go back here and take a look what it's really called. Yeah, I bought a 28-inch heavy-duty nylon gaming office chair base replacement part with wheels. That's what they call it. If you look it up on Amazon, it's basically because I didn't want just I wanted to be able to roll this chair. I wanted wheels to roll this chair, and this chair is just a regular, non-moving chair. But if you get that little, replacement thing, you could put it on top of that, and you can have it as a wheelie rolly chair on top of it, and it's really good, and it's still really sturdy and stuff like that. So that's what I did, because I just didn't want the flat base to this chair. Now, I'm going to tell you, this chair can be a little bit of a pain in the ass to put together, especially when you look at the instructions. The instructions aren't made clear. But overall, even though I was cussing and moaning a little bit, and I finally got the chair to put together, and I put it on the thing and the wheels and stuff, I thought it was a little too short. I thought it wouldn't, because it doesn't rise up. You can only go backwards and forwards, and you got the footrest that pops out. That's it. But it's good height. It's perfect height for my desk here. And I got a normal, corner desk here, like a L-shaped desk here in my office slash podcasting video room, whatever you want to call it. I call it my office. And it fits perfectly nice. It's very comfortable. It's fabric. It's not that pleather crap that I had before, which was nice, but it cracked up after a while, and it was hurting my back and stuff. My back was always hurting, and my neck and everything. And this is all like nice, cheap price fabric, but nice fabric. Everything's made nice. It's got a nice backing with a nice little pillow to it, a nice little pillow on the base for lumbar support, as it likes to say. They stated it does 135-degree recline and 360 swivel, of course, for console gaming or whatever. Like I said, this is good for me, for my office. Like I said, if you get the wheelbase on it. And this footrest thing, unlike other gaming chairs that have those little pop-out footrests, this one's attached to it. So I just do this. It's got a big handle, and it just pops right up like so, which I'm doing right now. And boy, oh boy, it really works. This is an actual big, nice, long footrest, unlike other gaming chairs and other chairs that I had with the pop-out footrest, which only goes so far. This covers most of my legs. So the only thing that's off of this is my feet, which I don't really care. And I got full support here. I can pop out this. There's another little lever here on the side if I can find it. And I could pop it out, and I could go backwards, like I said. And I could just relax right here like that, and then I could pull this back up and get this bad boy back up to like what I want it to be. It's really nice. That's all I'm saying. This is a really nice, decent chair. It's still on sale. This is the reason why I got it. It's $267 on sale still. I guess they only got 3 left in stock as of now. It was fully in stock before, so I'm guessing these are selling out like crazy. You can visit the Respawn store. I guess this is a popular company. I don't know. I just saw it on Amazon one time, and I'm like, it was $267 compared to other ones out there that were like 3 something and whatnot, which this did turn out to be 3 something, with sales tax and stuff, but free shipping and all that. And I'm like, oh yeah, cup holder. If I ever use the cup holder, I could put other stuff in this too if I wanted to. Nothing will fall through this cup holder. It's just a regular piece of, plastic thing where I could put whatever in there. But if I want to put, a cup in there, I could, but I could put it like candies or whatever in here, or an extra controller or whatnot. And it's really nice. It's really comfortable. Like I said, I got full good neck support here. I got full back support. I don't feel like, my body feels a lot better sitting in this chair compared to the other chair. Now, when you're doing like typing and stuff, if you can, do it like sitting back a little bit, that's great. Sometimes I still have to sit up front and type and stuff. I'm going to learn, but I'm going to do better learning on how to type and not, sit up straight and stuff like that and not hunch over and stuff like that. But this is a really nice chair and I wanted to talk about it. I had it for a week now and I wanted to recommend this chair to people because I'm like, yeah, I wanted a new chair and I wanted something really comfortable. And I was looking around and people recommended this chair, and when I seen it on Amazon, I was like, not a bad price, and it was worth it. It was totally worth it. I'm telling you guys, I love this thing. I was gaming in here every day. Friday, I was doing my stream really nice when I'm doing my work on the computer here, and I'm watching movie on my MB server over here, and it's just beautiful. This is a perfect chair. Definitely recommend it. And definitely check it out, folks. Check it out on Amazon. I'm sure they sell it elsewhere, but on Amazon, it's the Respawn 900 gaming reclining chair with footrest. Take a look or visit the Respawn store on Amazon. It's one of my recommendations for you gamers. You can, like I said, if you don't want it to have rollers, if you don't want to buy, a roller kit for the bottom and you just want it to just swivel and stuff and you want to put in your living room and stuff, that'll be perfect. It's a perfect place for a gaming room, a living room, whatever, but like I said, I wanted the wheels to roll this chair because I want to get out of here. I want to get in here in my office and stuff like that. I wanted something to roll for me. So that's why I chose this. And like I said, so far, so great. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's very comfy, very comfy. I could fall asleep in this chair. It's so comfy. And I feel like my neck feels better. My back feels better. And when you're sitting down for long periods of time, gaming, doing stuff on the computer, you want to feel good. You don't want to feel pain when you're doing that. And that old chair, I felt pain after a while because it's been used and it's ripping and it had its time. And I threw it out on garbage day. And the funniest thing happened, you would think, oh, yeah, they're going to pick it up and whatever. But no, the ice cream man took it. An ice cream man still comes around our neighborhood here, and he doesn't sell any ice cream. So I could tell you that. But he slowed down, and I was actually home when he did this. And I was home, and I was inside. I was looking through him through the window because I was making dinner, and I seen him through my kitchen window. And he slowed down to look at it, and he was playing his ice cream music, and then he drove away. But then he slowly came back and he just slowly, like he was gonna commit a crime or something. Like it's a crime to take somebody's garbage. I know there's crazy people out there that freak out when people take their garbage, but this guy, he was like, if either he felt guilty that he was gonna take this broken chair that was on the side, and I tell you, it was broken and shit. I'm like thinking, you could take it. If I was out there, I'd be like, dude, you want the chair? Take it. Go. Just don't bring it back. But he took it. The second time he went around, he didn't have his, ice cream music on or anything. He just went and he slowly drove up to it. He opened up the side door. He brought the chair in, closed the door, and he drove away. And I'm like, good for you. You got yourself a new shitty chair. And, I got myself garbage taken out early. So I was very happy about that. And somebody else got a chair that they might feel a little pain when they're just sitting in it. And the base was broken too, because I was trying to see if I could take some parts off of that. And, the guy will find out someday. That was funny though. But yes, Respawn 900 gaming reclining chair with footrest. Definitely a recommendation by yours truly, Gamer Boy Mr. Mike. And I could do, let's see here.
Nintendo. Family computer.
Yeah, there we go. They got something there. Okay, what else is up here? What else is it up? Let's talk about the games that I've played in the past week because there's not many and it's not much that I really have to talk about. But I figure, why don't we get this out of the way? Because one of those is Halo Campaign
The
Evolved.
games that have been played in the past week.
And like I said, one of those main games is Halo Campaign Evolved. The other two are PowerWash Simulator 2, which you already know about, and I don't really have to talk anything about, but I'm just going to mention it. Still playing that. Of course, I did not get the DLC yet because I want to beat PowerWash Simulator 2 before I buy that DLC. And I was playing New Monopoly. That's what they call it on the app now, but it's still just called Monopoly. It's the Ubisoft version that I'm playing on my Xbox. I bought it, a year or so ago. I like to bring that bad boy up on my Xbox and just play it once in a while. It's a fun Monopoly game, especially playing with AI, and I just beat the AI like a bad habit. I put on the most arcane rules and stuff like that, and I just win. I just win every time, and it's just like, it's so much fun. I like to do a little challenging Monopoly, taking over. I like to take over. But the main game that I want to talk about, because there was no other games that I played because I couldn't play WWE 2K26 because 2K didn't want me to play it unless I forgot their stupid account so they could try to, advertise me to death. So fuck them. And I didn't get to play anything else. Like, I didn't try playing any Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced yet. Again, I'm going to try this Friday when we have our next game stream going on for Game On Live. I'm hoping it works. If it doesn't work and it doesn't work out, I'll continue to play it, but I'll just do mostly ship-to-ship battles and just doing random stuff. But otherwise, if it doesn't work, going forward after that, I will just be playing Final Fantasy, I'm thinking. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, because I'm like, I haven't been playing that either. I want to play that. And if there's any game I can just confidently stream each and every week, it would be that game. And then I was thinking, well, there's also the Gears of War beta coming up. And I am going to play that as a Let's Play for a Let's Play episode. So I was going to do it live, but then I'm like, well, I already got scheduled the Assassin's Creed. And even if it doesn't work out, I'm still going to play it. And then after that, like I said, there's the beta weekend for Gears of War E-Day for the multiplayer, which I'm in the early beta of and stuff like that. I will be playing that during the weekend just to have it as a Let's Play for the following week. But then, like I said, going forward would be definitely Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If it doesn't work out for Assassin's Creed, because it would just be so easy to play it. And I want to play through I'm getting everything wrong. I'm trying not to get everything wrong. That's why I'm stopping before I speak stupidly. But I want to get through playing the next Final Fantasy game because I got through the first one. I want to get through this one. This one's a lot bigger with more open world. I'm still stuck on the gun spinning thing. That's where I left off. I'm not stuck on it. I just left off on that because I want to get the right thing so I could beat that stupid mini game and then move forward. We'll see on that. Yeah, there you have it. So what I'm mostly going to be talking about is Halo Campaign Evolved. Just came out on Tuesday. I did a first gameplay of it, and I mentioned the plastickiness of the characters, which they still look plasticky. And I played it a couple other times on my Xbox Rogue Ally X, which is the handheld, my handheld PC, which a lot of people were saying, oh, don't play it on there. I think it was IGN and a couple other people that were writing articles saying, don't play it on your AMD hardware. And I'm like, first off, all my hardware is AMD hardware, first off. Two, the Xbox is AMD hardware, so what are they talking about? And three, it worked just fine. Now, note, everything was on like low and stuff, but super resolution was on and everything else is on. But I was playing Halo Campaign Evolved on my Xbox Rogue Ally X, The PC version, not streaming from my Xbox or not from my Xbox Series X or anything. This is being played via the PC version on my Xbox ROG LAX, and it played very smoothly. The cutscenes played smoothly. Everything played smooth. Sure, the cutscenes have their little hiccups to them, the little jolts, but that's been going on and everything. And I guess that's what people are talking about on the Xbox and PC side, that they're getting the jolts, and the PlayStation 5 version is not. So maybe the PlayStation 5 is superior to the Xbox for that reason, that it can play Halo Campaign Evolved better than the Xbox and the PC. There's got to be something weird going on with maybe with their PSSR or something or whatnot, because I don't understand why that is, and why Halo Studios, as it was once 343, now called Halo Studios, allowed it to happen that way. I'm sure they tested the product out before this game came out, right? So why are they having weird little issues? And when I play it on my ROG LAX, my Xbox ROG LAX, it comes up with that screen first. It says, "Warning, this game is not compatible with AMD hardware. AMD hardware is known to have not the performance this game needs because it's running the archaic Unreal Engine," which they went it to, and I guess Unreal Engine 4 or 5. Is this running on Unreal 5? Yeah, it has to be. And I guess Unreal 5 is a big bitch to anything gaming hardware nowadays, because they don't know how to optimize that engine for everything, and it's just been a bitch on everything, on every console and every PC game and stuff like that. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot against Unreal right now, and now that they're planning on coming out with an Unreal 6 in the near future, makes me wonder how much more fuckery are you guys going to do with that engine to fuck over game makers and the industry if you can't even get your acts together with Unreal 5? Shouldn't you get Unreal 5 working smoothly so games come out smooth and stuff like that in your engine? And I know they deny everything because they're big poopy head deniers, and it's run by a psychopathic retarded guy that thinks AI is everything, just like a lot of other people do, and he's stupid as hell, even though he's got money, but he doesn't know how to run his company because apparently Fortnite ain't doing well and stuff. It ain't doing well enough to make me more money. I need more money. I need big piles of money. I want my blow-up doll of money that I can sleep with every night. No, I was doing a little acting there, folks. I was doing a little voice work. That was Big T Larity. Big T Larity from Code Monkeys, if you didn't know. That was a little scene that he talked about in the beginning of that Code Monkeys animated series on the late G4 network. I was just watching some of that. It's really funny. It's a great gaming thing. But he was like, I make love to my big blow up down of money every time. And it just gets me right there. But Team Sweeney, he is one of those outrageously stupid people. He's smart, but he's stupid. And not in the good ways. All around. But otherwise, back to Halo Campaign Evolved. Me, just like a bunch of others that have been on this planet Earth for a very long time, that have been in contact with Halo Campaign, or what it's originally been called, Combat Evolved, for, let's just say, most of our lives. We're not as excited as a lot of the newer people, or the people that just haven't played Halo in centuries and so on. Maybe Halo Combat Evolved was their only game that they played, and they never played the Master Chief Collection. They never played the Combat, remaster and stuff like that, and they never played it since the Xbox original version. I can understand those people being very happy. I can understand the people on the PlayStation gamers being happy because they never thought they would ever get to play a Halo game on a PlayStation. A Halo game on a PlayStation?
Game over.
Yeah, that's what people have been saying. Oh my God, Halo's on PlayStation. Game over. Oh boy. But no, and there's a lot of new people, a lot of new gamers out there, at least the ones that can afford hardware and consoles and stuff like that wanted to play Halo for the first time ever, that are actually interested in it and are actually, I'm hoping that they're liking it. Me personally, I enjoy playing it. I like playing it. I know what I'm playing. The only thing that was different was, like I said, the prequel missions that I played through on my last night's stream when I did it on Friday night. That was the only thing that's different for me. That was all new content. But going back into Halo Campaign Evolved, that's all the same, just prettier, a lot prettier. Everything from the grass to the clouds to the foliage to the enemies. The funny thing is, the enemies look better than the humans in Halo Campaign Evolved. Why do the humans look so plasticky? Why do their faces look so plasticky? Like I'm looking at like an evolution of army men or something like that. That's what they remind me of. They're so stiff looking still. They still looked very plasticky. And that kind of bothered me a bit. It kind of not bothered, but bothers me a little bit on how they got so much right with this game, but yet the main, the characters that are not Master Chief and Cortana, the human guys and gals are so plasticky looking that just drove me nuts, because it's like you're running this in Unreal 5. You remade these characters in Unreal 5. You're telling me you couldn't put more realism into the characters, into the soldiers, using Unreal 5 tech and all that. Now, note, I know that these people of Halo Studios, aka 434 Studios back in the day, rebranded to Halo Studios, are testing this out on the Unreal Engine because this is the first time they're doing this in Unreal, because they were using the Halo engine before, and because there was a lot of confunkery going on with the Halo engine, and it was very hard to make Halo games using the Halo engine and getting people in to learn the software and to learn the engine and stuff. This is the reason why they're trying to change everything into like Unreal Engine or something like that. And that's why they chose Unreal Engine, and they're training them, and that's what this whole game is all about. That's why it's called Campaign Evolved, because it is a remake of a remake of a remake of the original game that they wanted to bring into the next generation, and they wanted to try out they wanted to learn how to make a game using the Unreal Engine and make a game like a Halo game and see how it turned out, which, like I said, all in all, this game turned out very, very good, very well. Everything sounds and looks great except for the plasticky soldiers. Like I said, I am not super excited about this game. I am just happy this game is existing again and I get to play through it one more time. Hopefully the last time. And they don't try to do another bullshit re-release of this. Now, if they do Halo 2 and stuff like that, and maybe Halo 3, I don't know if you could do Halo 3, but if they do Halo 2 at least, sure. I haven't played Halo 2 in a very long time. I played it way less than the original Halo game. I played Halo 1 at least 5 times, and then this is like my 6th time playing Halo Campaign Evolved, or before when it was called Combat Evolved. Halo 2, I think I played it maybe twice. Once the original one, and the second time with a friend when I did the friend co-op thing. Halo 3, I think I played twice, and all the rest of them I played twice, except for a couple of them, and Halo Infinite, which I only played once. So I can definitely tell you that I am okay with this being out. It's not something that's blowing my mind. It's not blowing me away. It looks pretty. It looks very good. I think they did a phenomenal job. I got to try out the new driving thing because I didn't know they had a new driving thing in there, even though I went through the settings, but I just did not. I just did not. I must have went over that. But when I was listening to somebody else's gaming podcast, they were talking about the driving in Halo 5 that you can change it into normal driving. And I'm like, you could do fucking what now? So there is a setting where you can change it from that arbitrary Halo driving if you really hate it as much as I do, and you could turn it into something way better, which I'm like, oh, okay. But it's fun. It's a good game. It's something cool, and a lot more people get to play it because it's not just on Xbox. It's not just on Xbox and PC. It's on PlayStation. So that's a whole new audience, and I hear it's selling very well. I hear the game is selling extremely well, and it's doing very well out there, and good for it. Even with its, I think, a little too high, and I know a lot of other people said the same thing. I think the price tag for Halo campaign involved is a little bit too high at $50. They should have made this $40. They should have made this game $39.99. You know, put it out across the board. You know, especially because you're still doing your 5-day early bullshit. Play this game 5 days early on Xbox. I don't know if they do it for the PlayStation version. I think it's just for the Xbox and PC Xbox version. Play it 5 days early. That's when people pay their extra $20, which I said, nah, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, that's how they make their extra money. Or if people bought that stupid premium edition, which why would you spend more money on that premium edition? I don't think there was anything really worthwhile to spend more money on that premium edition, but okay. But $60, 50, 60, you know, it's a little expensive. And if you're really somebody that's not too big into Halo, but you were interested to see this, but you're not, it's just the campaign and stuff and some earlier extra bonus campaigns, maybe I'd say wait till it drops down in price, because it will sooner than later, and then pick it up for a cheaper price, like at $40. I think $39.99 would have been a sweet, perfect deal. If they would have did it for $39.99, $40 for all the people that just wanted to purchase the base game. Not only do I think it will sell even better, because it'll be like, oh, this is a new Halo game for $39.99, $40. Sure. $50. I know they're strapped for cash over there at Xbox and all that, and they got to sell off more stuff because they need to fuel it, and Game Pass ain't doing it for them apparently. So apparently people are saying Game Pass is bankrupting Xbox for fucking crazy reason. I don't believe that. I never did believe that. I think it's just, if they would have had more consoles and got more people, and they didn't alienate as many people as they have over the years, maybe Game Pass would be the perfect thing. But you can't say Game Pass was the fault of Xbox and that they couldn't get people onto Game Pass, because I think it's the best deal in gaming out there. And I don't give a shit what anybody says, with all these grumpy McGruffs out there that say, hey, Game Pass is, why is it even still around? Fuck you guys. If you guys like to spend $70 on all your fucking games, third party and first party, and not try to find any deals, go fuck yourselves too, because shit, I don't know about you. If Game Pass wasn't around and I couldn't get the deals that I could get, a lot of those games that I learned about that were really good, that I found because of Game Pass, and then eventually I bought their extra stuff or their DLC or whatever. If I didn't do that, they wouldn't get any sales from me, because I'd be like, I don't know, I don't get to try this game out and blah, 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 blah. So frankly, Game Pass is good. Now, sure, it could be better, and if more people took advantage of that, but like I said, and like everybody else has been saying, there's less gamers out there in the world now. Some people said there's more gamers, but I highly doubt that. And if there are gamers out there, they're more attuned to be stuck with the same types of games and the same games over and over again than they are going to newer titles out there. People aren't trying newer games. They're stuck with the same old, same old. And that is not good. That is not healthy for the business. That's not healthy for anything or anybody, especially for people like me that pay in and buy multiple games, and from Game Pass to buying DLC and all this other stuff. Like I said, I try out a lot of games, more games than most normal people would never do in what I do, because I'm crazy and I love games. But yeah, I think Halo Campaign Evolved should have been like $39.99. I think that would have been a better price, but because we're dealing with even Microsoft and they own Xbox, and then you got those higher up level people up there saying, no, we want to make maximum bank. Let's do 50. It's not 70, folks. It's 50. 50 is the new 40. That's what people are saying. 50 is the new 40. And I'm like, if you would have just made it $40, $39.99, not only would you get better in most people's good graces, but I bet you the game would sell even better. I'm hoping it's still selling great, though. I'm hoping people are enjoying what they are getting for $50, but I don't know. For a person like me that's played this game 5 times, and this is the sixth time, I would never spend $50. Now, if Game Pass wasn't around anymore and this game came out, would I buy it? Probably not. Now, if I would have got that collector's edition, sure, I would have got it. But otherwise, beyond that, I don't think I would have spent $50. I would have waited till it would drop in price over time. But it plays well. It works very good. And like I said, don't listen to those other people. Maybe the Steam Deck it doesn't run well on, and maybe it doesn't run well on other Windows-based handhelds. But I can tell you, even though there's not really any updates or anything yet, at least that I know of before this, because I haven't played my Xbox Rogue Ally X for a couple days now. Maybe there's a patch or something to improve gameplay, but even though it's on low settings and stuff on my Xbox Rogue Ally X, it looks beautiful on there. The super resolution, whatever the AMD trickery and all that stuff behind the scenes is doing to that game, is doing just fine, and it looks beautiful, and the videos play beautifully, and I'm not having no trouble playing that game on my Xbox Rogue Ally X, and I'm not even playing it on higher performance mode, because you can bump up how much power your CPU, GPU does and all that stuff, and I'm not even doing that, and it plays just fine for me. Maybe I'll try playing more tonight or something, but I haven't had any problems playing Halo Campaign Evolved on my Xbox Rogue Ally X. Just to tell you, as an Xbox Rogue Ally X fan, boy. And like I said, that's the only portable system I own to play games like that. Otherwise, playing it on PC, it plays very well, even though it has its issues. The only other issue I found out, and I'll check it out when I go back to the Xbox Rogue Ally X, when I played it on the Xbox Rogue Ally X and then I went to play the PC version, the game saves were going weird with it through the cloud saves, and I'm like, okay. And I think I didn't lose any data, but it was like really annoying because it was like, oh, this game is not updated or blah, 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 or this version is corrupt. Something that said weird, and then it was like, okay, but this is should be the newer cloud save because I just played this on my Xbox Rogue Ally X. So this should be the save that you use no matter what, and not the older save, because of course I played more on the newer save. I don't know why he even asked me if I want the older save, but okay. Sure, if I could go back into there and just pick an older save if I wanted to, but you don't go and say, do you want the, I don't know. It kind of bothered me, but, and then I did lose a little bit of progress the last time when I played from the PC to my Xbox Rogue Ally X, because I was like, hey, wait, I already dropped down to the Halo planet, world, whatever, ring. And then I already got out and went forward and checkpointed and all that, and it didn't save the checkpoints that time. So it still has weird checkpointing save issues, I would think. I don't know. I tested it out again. It seemed to work just fine on the PC. I'll see when that game save goes from the cloud to my Xbox Rogue Ally X and see if it still saves in the same spot where I left off. but I was like kind of concerned, like, wait, why did I have to start back off from the beginning here? That was kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Otherwise, great game, great playing game. I know there's some stuck in the mud kind of people out there going, why? Why did they bring this out again? Why is this game even out? Oh, it's boring or whatever. And me, like I'm telling you straight up, I played it many times before. I'm not super excited about it, but I'm just happy they're doing it. Now, what do I really want? I want a brand new Halo adventure game. I want it to be, either a whole reboot of the whole Halo franchise or finish that fight and finish up the Halo story, because apparently you keep going. Spoiler alert, I know Cortana gets deleted or whatever they do in Halo Infinite. Spoiler alert. But I don't know, that seemed kind of lame ending for Cortana. And I think they should go forward and there should be an actual, like, oh, she isn't deleted. She is like this super digital god, like Skynet kind of thing going on. They should do something like that for a new Halo game. They could do a lot. I don't understand why people don't think of this stuff. And for creativity wise, I know a lot of games and stuff out there are made in a vacuum chamber nowadays, and it's always about focus testing and all this other bullshit that all these corporations do to squeeze the fun out of games and the life out of games, instead of letting game makers make the games and then just, publish and promote the games as these publishers should do in these industry, and just let the game makers make the game. Sure, get on them when they're not getting the game done and stuff, but telling them what to do and not to do in their games it's just bullshit. And there's a lot of sterilized games being made out there, and that's just going to get more and more people leaving those franchises and leaving those games over time, because they're just getting really sick and bored playing those games because they don't believe that those games are going to hold up for them. But I don't know. We'll see what happens to Halo and the Halo franchise going forward. If they decide to just make a Halo 2 remaster or whatnot, I would hope they just make a brand new Halo game and then go back and make Halo 2 remaster after that. But first make a Halo game, or if you got enough people, if they ever have enough people, because I don't think anybody has enough people over there. And if they want to fire another 1,500 people or something in the next few months, I don't know what, I still don't understand too much of their strategies over at Xbox and Microsoft over there. It just seems like that's a bad thing. And when you got this big axe hanging over all your developers over there, that's not good for morale and everything else and creativity wise, because everybody's like scared that they're going to lose their jobs in the next few months, and that's not good. It's not good. And I don't know. I think let the game makers make their games and stop fucking them over and trying to make the business better other ways. But yes, a lot of people, and I gotta say, is PlayStation the main home for the Xbox Halo game? Wow. It is an interesting concept. It runs better on the PlayStation. Now, note, I can't say this for a fact because I only own an Xbox and a PC, and it works pretty much similar on those platforms. But if people are saying, oh, it seems to run better, especially the cutscenes run better on the PlayStation 5 instead of the Xbox, I'm like, I didn't know. I don't know I don't know how they programmed it. It should just work fine. And I don't know who's product testing this after the fact. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Seems weird to me. Seems weird, but hey, it's bound to happen sooner or later. You fire a ton of people, your game division's all fucked up because you guys fucked it all up internally from the higher ups and going down. And then, for years and years and years, it's always been games fucked up on PlayStation and better on Xbox, and now it's the other way around. I'm like, okay, c'est la vie. It's come full circle, I guess, right now with that shit. Yeah, but it's Halo campaign involved. I definitely recommend it. Do I highly recommend it? Not for $50, but if it drops down in price and it goes down to like 40 or cheaper, definitely get it. But if you really, really, really want to get it and really want it and you're really interested in playing Halo, either on an Xbox, PC, or PlayStation, definitely get it. I wonder why they didn't try to put this on Switch too. I wonder how hard that would be. Putting a Halo game on Switch 2. That could sell some Switch 2s. That would push some copies of Halo campaign involved as well. Maybe they are going to eventually bring out a Switch version. I don't know. Not many people. I don't hear many people, third parties, trying to push games on Switch 2. There's very few. I don't hear too much of that going on right now. I wonder why. I wonder if just Nintendo is like pushing people out, or people think it's too expensive to put it on there, vice versa. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me that people aren't trying to push more games onto the Switch 2, that we haven't heard Microsoft pushing more games onto the Switch 2, because they would be in a perfect position to push more games to come to Switch 2. And originally I thought they were going to do that, but I don't know. I don't know what their business strategy is behind the scenes. And hopefully Asha Sharma knows. And other things going on with Microsoft and Sony back to back. First it was Sony, and then it was Xbox having major outages on both their online systems. First it was Sony with the PlayStation Network being out, affecting gaming and stuff like that. People couldn't play their games or anything, and they couldn't go on social, couldn't do anything. And it was the PlayStation Network was down. And then later on, a week later, which this happened before too. And I wonder if it's just a third party actor, or if there's something going on behind the scenes that people are fucking up shit it behind the scenes and it just happens. I don't know. It seems kind of weird that at first it was PlayStation and then it was Xbox, but then Xbox had an issue, I guess last Monday, where it was Sunday into Monday, I think they said, that the Xbox Live or Xbox Network was down and people couldn't launch games and stuff like that. I didn't notice anything. Mine was working on Sunday, and then Monday when I got home from work, it seemed just fine. I was able to launch and play my games on my Xbox and my PC and all that, and do all that, do my gaming, get my achievements and stuff like that, and get my Xbox rewards and stuff. So I didn't have any problems, just to say. But I guess that, and this was at the time when I read that there was Xbox outages and stuff, and I went on there, as you can see up onto my thing. I don't think I can I move my chair the right way here? Hold on. As you can see there was a lot of red on accounts and gaming stores, games and gaming apps and all. That's a screenshot I took of my computer of all that stuff being shown on the status, and I was still able to play my games, and I was still able to get my game saves and everything. So I guess it wasn't happening to everybody. At least it wasn't happening to me. But I was looking at it because I saw the news come out for that, and I didn't have no problems playing my games. So personally, my digital library and stuff. But for the PlayStation people, because of the Sony saying, we don't want, we're getting rid of disc-based gaming. Now that's what a big uproar happened of a lot of gamers, especially on the PlayStation side, saying, hey, PlayStation, your network went down and you fucked us all over, and now you want to get rid of discs, but yet you can't keep your network working and we can't play our games when it's offline and shit. Oh, that's a lot of bullshit right there. Now on the Xbox side, I can tell you for sure, at least on the PC Xbox side, I forgot if Xbox does it as well. And a lot of people have been saying, well, these games should work for at least 48 hours. even if there is an outage of like the PlayStation or Xbox networks, that you should be able to play these games, for at least 48 hours, or I would say maybe a week or something. But, 48 hours seems like a good amount of time too, to be able to play these games offline for 48 hours until the networks go back up. I would say the same thing. I think there should be like a 48-hour time limit, not just, oh, you can't log into your Xbox account or your PlayStation account. Sorry, you can't play this game. That seems like something that has to get reworked. And like the PC side of things, because I have it for my Xbox One X, because that could have been another reason. I have that as like the main hub. So if I want to play my games offline and stuff, that Xbox One X can still play those games offline. That is my main gaming computer that I can do that with. So maybe that's also a reason that I can do that. And also, Microsoft, they acknowledged the problem when they had an outage. Their main CTO on Monday came out and said a single point of failure can't ruin your night again. Xbox CTO stated that Monday's major outage was unacceptable. So at least they're saying something. They said something about it, and they're taking major blame. They're like, yeah, this is unacceptable. You should be able to play games. I wonder if this is because it's, the new Asha Sharma error and stuff. And I wonder if they're trying to, get more goodwill from gamers out there, even though they're still getting bad will from firing a bunch of people, letting go some studios, killing some games and stuff like that. But they're still trying to do a business where they're like, yeah, you guys are here to play games. If you can't play your games, that's our fault. Not your fault, our fault. Sony didn't say nothing. They just said, oh, yeah, we're aware. We're sorry that you can't play your games, blah, blah, blah. And then they didn't say nothing. They didn't say nothing, not a goose egg about their outage until it came back on. Microsoft is actually saying, hey, this is unacceptable. So his name, let's see, his name is Scott Van Vliet has explained what led to the outage and what's being done to prevent it from happening again. See, clear. If they keep doing this, which, sometimes companies do for a little bit and then they drop it. But if you do this shit, that's what you should do. You should tell people, yeah, this is unacceptable, what we've been done to fix it, and what we're going to try to do to prevent this from this kind of thing happening in the future. Now, I know this happened server side on the Xbox side of stuff. And he also said he's vowed to investigate investigate it further to prevent what's happening again. He says people should be able to play their games even when the system is offline and stuff. You should be able to play your games even when it's offline. So he acknowledged that as well. He stated we'll do better. While the issue had now been resolved, he's more interested in why it happened in the first place. And I think it was just a server issue and a cascading effect that happened to go on with other servers, which knocked out their system. Because I guess Xbox does have backup systems, but once your backup systems get fucked, shit happens. He also said that means we got to harden the dependencies underneath the signing and game launch, improving how we detect and contain this class of failure, and being faster and clearer when something breaks. Thank you for your patience and for the reports that generally helped us narrow this down. We will do better. Xbox outage followed similar issues. Like I said, the PlayStation Network, which was out for several hours, leaving players unable to access their PlayStation Network and PlayStation 5 accounts via a game that required PlayStation Network to sign in and blah, 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 blah. And you know what? And Sony didn't really say much about it. They just shoved it off, and they're just continuing with the blunders of why. And I wonder why people still will back PlayStation and Sony. if they just like the hardware and stuff, I can understand that. But for gaming wise, what games are still coming out that is worthwhile for you as a PlayStation gamer to keep buying PlayStation games and PlayStations? And with stuff like this, and with their still sticking with their whole, we're not going to bring back physical games, that Sony stated just recently, because they came out and started talking about this more. Sony stated the discontinuation of PlayStation game discs won't have a negative effect or impact on its business now or in the future. That 82% digital download ratio for a full game software across PlayStation 4 and 5, they're saying 82% are digital downloads of games. And that they're going to continue to, as they're saying, we're going to cautiously move this forward, Sony stated, as it hears PlayStation disc backlash, but will continue its plans going into the future. And they said, we are still going to discontinue disc production, and we will not probably have a disc drive in their next PlayStation, which they didn't really state that they weren't having a disc drive. But if they're not going to have discs being made in 2028, why would you have a disc drive in your PlayStation 6 and stuff like that, which frankly could be a smaller handheldish device, or a smaller device like a Switch or something, or Switch-like, which another reason why you wouldn't have a disc drive in there and stuff. But they're still continuing to say, hey, we're going to just go, and we're going to still continue discs. We're going to be slowly moving forward on that. We got some years left with disc making. They're also been talking, Sony stated it's been talking to retailers about its disc-free future, suggesting to retailers that it may still sell codes in a box for them so they can have something on their store shelves to sell, so people can win. They also state, the PlayStation company states it's trying to find a win-win situations with retailers, so they're not so pissed off at them that they stop selling PlayStation hardware in their stores, which, yeah, okay, I guess, but still. Yeah, they're still pushing it. And you got to understand, folks, Sony isn't the biggest backwards compatible based company out there. Microsoft and Xbox still is, which is still a surprise to me that they're still really big on backwards compatibility, because another little, and this is just a rumor, because originally I thought, and I thought I read and they said before that they weren't going to have a disc drive in the next Xbox, but maybe that information was wrong. But this is also a rumored information. I've been hearing in various chats and platforms and behind the scenes in the companies and stuff, that they've been talking about that the next Xbox probably might and will have still a disc drive going forward. That they're thinking about still putting in a disc drive going forward in their next Helix console and Xbox. Which, to me, if that is true, that is probably going to give them a leg up, even with hardware being fucked going into the future as it is, and how expensive it's going to be going forward as is, and how supply strains and all that other bullshit is all up against them. If they are going to continue with a disc based future going forward at Xbox, even if they just do it for the hearts and minds, and they say, hey, it's up to the people, the publishers of these games, to decide if they want to make a disc based game of this game or not on our platforms. But if they continue to do that, and it all has to do because of backwards compatibility, like if they want to make it, which I'm thinking that's also what they want to try to do, is try to make the next Xbox future more backwards compatible with 360 and Xbox One games, as we are slowly seeing that a few Xbox original games are coming to the PC, which are Xbox Microsoft owned, of course, titles. But going forward, they're going to try to push out more backwards compatible games to be sold and owned on digital and PC and Xbox and stuff like that, and hopefully more games from third parties and third party publishers, and maybe 360 games. And if you maybe eventually if you could pop in a 360 game or something, you can get that as a launch title. Like I said, if we could, and I would be willing to do this. I don't know about any of you guys, but I would be definitely willing to do this. And if publishers would be on board with this, and if Xbox, Microsoft, and everybody else would be on board with this licensing and all that other bullshit, I would be willing. I know I talked about this before. If like Apple has with the Music Unlimited, where you could pay one price and you can all your digital music, if it's really owned by you, or if it's a counterfeit or whatever, it would clean it all up. It would give you all legit music for one price and stuff, and you would own all that music. You remember that? Well, why not something like that with this? But this time, I pop in an Xbox disc or Xbox 360 disc or whatever, and I know the current gen, like the Xbox One and Series discs, will be able to go forward digitally because they have the codes on them. But if I can pop in a disc like an Xbox or Xbox 360 disc into my Xbox drive, even if it can't play it digital, like right off the disc or whatever, but it says, hey, we can sell you for per game basis, like $5 for this game. You want this game you can't play it via the disc, but hey, it will be playable on this console if you pay $5 to digitize it. If you want to digitize your whole library of these games and they can play going forward, I would pay $5 per game disc. Now, note, I have a lot of Xbox 360 games, so that would be kind of pricey for me going forward. But if I can play like all my SmackDown versus Raws and all this other stuff that are frankly not really backwards compatible with newer systems, like I can't play them on my series consoles and stuff, I would be willing to spend like $5 per game to get a digital license for that game and be able to play it on my Series X or PC or something like that, or whatever I want to play it on, the Series X or my PC or handheld. I would be willing to do that. Now, is that what Microsoft and Xbox is planning? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to do something similar to that. Maybe they're going to try to do some other stuff, but I would be willing to pay a little bit of money per title or whatever to see what I can get. And if I could get all those games in a perfect digital library that I could play on my Xbox ecosystem going forward, or PC Xbox ecosystem going forward, that would get a lot of people, I think, coming back to Xbox and going, you could still play all these games. They're still selling all these games. They're still fully backwards compatible with all that generations. I don't know. I don't know if the goodwill is good for that or not. Some people think that's not. Some people still think that they got to do more to get people to come back. But me, I'm more simple. I'm like, hey, if I can play my whole Xbox and 360 library going forward, get them all digitized, and be able to play all those titles going forward on my Xbox One, Xbox Series, or Helix, or PC, or something like that, I'll be all for that. You know, also Microsoft is talking about how you can stream your games still, your newer games. Like if you bought a Series X game or X or S game or something like that, but you don't have a Series X or S console, you can play that on your Xbox One console. If you have one of those, just via streaming, they got that going on. They got a lot of things that they're trying to do to get around all the shortages of hardware and stuff. They're trying to get people still into the ecosystem, even though they're failing and they're doing bad. And Sony is just, no, we're still not going to do discs going forward. Maybe we'll do codes and boxes, blah, 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 blah. It just seems like a whole different thing. And like I said, I still say F you to Asha Sharma and all of them up there until they stop firing. I don't know. I want to see what the next bloodbath of firing is going to happen. I want to see what goes on in the future and how games are going to be made and how fast and how good and how well these games are going to be made. And everything about that. But if they're thinking about a lot of this stuff and they're trying to make it a better way for us as gamers to play these games, I will be interested going forward to see how this happens. And Asha Sharma was just talking about it, and she's the Xbox CEO. She was just talking about how the earnings report for Xbox was very bad in quarter 4 2026. That for content and hardware, it was really, really bad. It was down, another 7 plus, what was it? Revenue decreased 29% due to lower volume of consoles being sold. Content and services decreased 5%. It's not good. It's really bad. Even though they're still making money, it's not making Microsoft money, as they would like to say. But she talked about that. But she's got high hopes for what we need to do. We need to close the gap by investing in what players value, she says. And she also talked about still that she wants Xbox to eventually reach more than 1 billion people each day, depending on what platform they're playing on. That's why she's talking about how try to get them either on streaming services for them and this and that, how to be able to play these games in more than one way. She's got a lot of ideas on how to do that. She wants to at least to get to a 500 million target by 2030. So currently Xbox reaches about 100 million people each day, which to me, that's a lot of people, but to a big corporation like Microsoft, that is not. Let's see here. But I guess she's very optimistic on achieving this goal, even though there's a lot of shit going behind the scenes. She's got some people behind her. We just got to wait and see what's going to happen with this stuff. For me, at least this kind of still means that they're not planning on, even though it's going to be hard for them going forward with a new console, future games, because they're going to fire another 1,500 people. What was it? 500 or 600? Yeah, 1,600 people that they plan on doing for the rest of the fiscal year and stuff, that they shuttered out a few studios and canceled a few games and stuff. If they can get that all grounded and they can get it all, tightened up, if that's what's needed to tighten up the Xbox ecosystem right now and the Xbox as a part of a company, and if she believes with other people in there that they can get this tightened up enough so they can run this properly and better, and it can be, I'm not saying future proof, but make it going into the future that this would be a better brand and buy for gamers for the future and beyond, even in very tough times. It's just a wait and see thing. But like I said, hearing this stuff, it makes me feel a little bit better, saying, because she and everybody, and note, this could all be just smoke and mirrors again. But I also have hope for the Xbox brand, that they are not trying to sell it off or kill it, or at least none of that stuff right now, that they still want to continue to try to make this a feasible brand under Microsoft, and they want Xbox to be that brand for everybody out there, or most people that are gamers and stuff like that. If they can do that, great. If it doesn't, I don't know where it's going to go from there on, but they got some tasks to go on. And if Satan, Nadella, and the rest of them up on the top of the hill don't fuck anything else up over there at Microsoft going forward, maybe I have some hope. I always got to have a little bit of hope, because like I said, as a brand, I love Xbox as a brand. As a company, not so much. At least mostly Microsoft. But as a brand, I still have hope. I have enjoyed Xbox as a brand for many years. I spend tons of money on it. I believe in it. I love playing the games. I love being able to play my game either on my Xbox or a handheld or on my PC here and stuff. And they're doing some stuff. They're doing some partnering up with some studios. They're doing some shit, and I think they they're doing some stuff. They're doing some decent stuff here that like I said, I still have some high hopes for. And on top of that, it reminds me, talking about how well everything's been semi working, I've been noticing a lot of changes behind the scenes, like with the Xbox app been working a little bit better, and they're doing some new stuff with that, Xbox rewards. And in the Xbox playing system, like before, you remember I used to talk about a lot of times when I go to stream my game from my Xbox Series console to my Series X console to my handheld, or if I wanted to play a game on my PC, it was always sometimes a challenge that I would always have trouble trying to get it to work, and then I'd have to go back to the console and resync everything and redo everything. I've been noticing, and I'm knocking on fake wood here. I gotta knock on my head. Knocking on fake wood. I've been noticing for the past couple of weeks now that it's been very easy and very slick for me to just go on this PC here that I have here, which used to be sometimes even more difficult because this would fail a lot of times. But I was going on the Xbox app on my PC here, going in with my controller and clicking the Xbox console thing to stream my console to my PC. And it loads up in a new loading feature, like an Xbox streaming load feature than it used to. And it seems to boot up every time. Like my console will activate, it'll go on, it'll play on my computer every time. The same thing with my Xbox ROG Ally-X. I've been able to boot into my Xbox from my ROG Ally-X and remote play my Xbox Series or Series X onto my ROG Ally-X perfectly each and every time. And it's been a solid connection. It's been working great. And it seems like it works pretty quickly. And I've been noticing that it seems like, and I'm just saying this with a grain of salt and knocking on fake wood, it's been running pretty damn good so far. And I've been like, oh, this is the future that I want. So if I don't want to play my Xbox console on my TV and stuff, which I usually don't anymore, I've been playing mostly on PC and stuff, but I like to stream certain games that I can't play from my console and stuff that I can play on my PC from the console games, but I can stream them. It's been working a lot better. It's been working very seamlessly. And I don't know if they'd been doing some more stuff on the back ends or whatnot. I know I had issues in the past, and I talked to Xbox support and we went through it all. Maybe they took a lot of my notes from what I gave them and we worked it out together. Maybe they took some of that and made it more robust over time and updated it. I don't know. I got nothing to say on that, but wow, it's been very easy. Like I said, I just been like last night, I booted up the Xbox app on my PC here, went into my streaming my console to play some Monopoly, and it went on, play Monopoly. I was able to shut it down. Now, note, it's still a little touchy between the Xbox game bar, and using the Xbox app to remote play my game, because I'll hit the Xbox button and sometimes it'll bring up the game bar or it'll launch like it was launching Halo on it. And I'm like, no. And I have to go quickly turn off Halo and stuff. But if I tap it just right, it'll just launch the game, or it'll go into the menu system and stuff by hitting the Xbox button, just like it should, like you're on the console and stuff. And that's been getting a little bit better. So it's not perfect, but it's good enough for somebody like me that I can actually be able to play my Xbox, like an Xbox on my computer, just remote playing it. Now, I can just hook it up via HDMI, like I have it connected via HDMI, but I want to play it remotely sometimes, like on my ROG Ally and stuff. And if I'm able to get in and do settings and all this stuff very easily, I think they got it in a way where I'm able to do this stuff very much more easily than I used to. And like I said, it's been loading up well. I haven't had any net crashes or saying, no, this can't load onto your console right now. Sorry, you got to try again later. I haven't had that for the past couple of weeks. Like I said, knock on fake wood. I don't know. It's been a lot better. So they've been doing some stuff behind the scenes to making gaming on either your Xbox or your Xbox with PC a lot better, at least in my mind. And I just want to mention that. Also, which I hope will become something. Right now, it is still early days, but with this thing, with Xbox and Ubisoft revealing a new partnership that brings free games to players starting today and stuff like that, which they're doing, it's not free games. It's basically kind of extending how Xbox Plays Anywhere goes ahead. But I'll read this here. So Xbox and Ubisoft are expanding their partnership beyond subscription services and console gaming. As a result, the companies announced that they are working together to deliver several new benefits for players who enjoy their games on PC through Xbox Wire. They revealed 2 new features that will be available to PC gamers starting now. First, more Ubisoft content will become available through the Xbox app on PC. Thanks to this update, PC gamers will be able to add premium editions and additional DLC for some of the French publishers' most acclaimed titles to their collections. Fans of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, The Crew, Prince of Persia, and Watch Dogs will now be able to have access to even more content. The biggest announcement, however, will help many players save money and get more games for free if they are Ubisoft fans. Starting now, players who own a digital copy of a select Ubisoft game on Xbox consoles will also receive access to the PC version at no additional cost. These titles can be played on PC through Ubisoft Connect, which is still a little bit iffy to me, but I'm still looking into seeing if more other stuff will work with this as well. This also means that anyone who purchases an eligible Ubisoft game through the Xbox ecosystem will automatically receive both the console and PC version at no extra charge. Players who already own these games on Xbox will see them gradually added to their PC library between July 21st and August 4th. The supported titles right now include Assassin's Creed Mirage, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Far Cry 6, Immortals of Phoenix Rising, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Riders Republic, Skull and Bones, Crew 2, Crew Motorsport, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Extraction, Rainbow Six Siege, Watch Dogs Legion. The Xbox Ubisoft agreement comes with some restrictions. Microsoft released 4 original Xbox classics on PC, and it appears to be laying the groundwork for bringing games from the second generation console to the platform before players can take advantage of the new partnership. There are a couple important details to keep in mind. The most significant is that owning a PC version of the Ubisoft games do not grant access to the console version. So if you bought the Ubisoft Connect, you don't get the console game. Makes sense. The offer only allows players to claim the PC version for free, not the other way around. Additionally, players cannot transfer consumable items or virtual currency from the console versions when redeeming the games on PC, as those assets are not transferable across platforms. That's usually the case. Currencies and consumables are excluded from the offer. This offer, however, in certain games, the support cross progression. Players can find all their content from the Xbox version available in the PC version, Ubisoft explained. What I want to know going forward, or I'm hoping they will do in the near future for stuff like this, for future Ubisoft titles, like if Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced comes onto this, what about Xbox achievements? Will I be able to play the Ubisoft PC version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced in the future, on even if I have to do your Ubisoft Plus bullshit? Will I be able to start getting Xbox achievements going forward if I go back and forth with that game? That's what I am looking for as a gamer, Xbox gamer. And that's what keeps me from playing these games on PC from Ubisoft right now, because if I play a Ubisoft game, first you got to download Ubisoft Connect, Ubisoft Connect and all that bullshit. And two, what I read before, you weren't able to play the game or get the achievements from the game onto the Xbox. I'm going to look this up right now and see if anything has changed. So give me 1 second, folks. Okay, I was just checking this up a little bit, folks. I wanted to check up on this. What I have researched on this cross progression with achievements and stuff, it's telling me that you can get some to most of your achievements if you're playing like the PC version of a Ubisoft game and then going and carrying it over to the Xbox version, but you might not get some of the achievements. Like they were talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows on when some of them are Xbox specific, like they were talking about some of the achievements like Final Hearing or Limitless may not transfer and need to be re-earned. This is because Ubisoft tracks achievements per platform. Earning them on PC doesn't mark them as Xbox earned in the Xbox ecosystem. Bottom line, you can play Assassin's Creed on PC, carry over your progress to Xbox, and get most of the PC achievements as Xbox. They say trophies, but it's achievements. But you won't unlock Xbox-specific achievements unless if you play them on Xbox. Let's see here. And I'm looking at true achievements. So everyone knows Ubisoft Plus, you can play your save anywhere, but I just tested my achievements earned on PC will transfer over to Xbox and likewise. So if you can play the game either on PC or Xbox and earn most likely all of the achievements, I just thought I'd throw that out there in case anyone wants to play on PC. Okay. Final Hearing achievement did not Final Hearing achievement did not transfer from PC to cloud version. Had to do that once again to unlock. Also Limitless. Yeah, see they were talking about this stuff. Some people are saying here, I play the game on PC and started to play on console. Everything transferred and the achievements are unlocked. You have to activate the cloud storage in the Ubisoft app in your profile. I use a trial on okay. Any chances works between Xbox and okay. So that seems interesting and something that I might want to try out, because if the PC version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced works better on the PC than it does on my Xbox version, I wonder if I can earn achievements on the PC version of the game and then, transfer the save over to my Xbox and get the achievements. Because frankly, that's the only thing that's keeping me away from playing any of Ubisoft's games on the PC. Just like other third parties, like EA's games. Not that I really care about many EA games. The only EA games that I like, that I cared about, I already own on Steam, which are the Command & Conquer games and some Sims games and stuff like that. But otherwise, I do care about playing a lot of Ubisoft games and stuff like that still. And I would like to play them on PC because I know they play well on PC. And even if I have to get their stupid Ubisoft Connect thing and all that, but I was just always wondering about the achievement progress on that and transferring the game save over from their shit to my Xbox. I gotta maybe try that out with something. Maybe I'll try out one of the games that they have on here, on the list, and I'm hoping more games will become available as well. They also had Star Wars. I think they had Star Wars on there as well. Let me see here. Hold up. Let me see here. Did I say Star Wars on here too? I thought Star Wars was on here. I know since Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, that would be a game I could get back into to play on the PC version. That would be something. I'll have to check it out. I would have to check it out because unless if I play Assassin's Creed Valhalla and stuff, I thought they said that Star Wars was one of the games. Star Wars, something I'll have to check out. But Yeah, at least stuff is happening because you don't hear about this kind of stuff, partnerships going on with like Sony or Nintendo with third parties and stuff like that with Ubisoft or EA. It's mostly Microsoft and Xbox, even though Xbox is doing very badly right now. They are actually trying to, you know, go ahead and try to work out something with other companies still and working out deals and stuff, which I find very good. I find that very comforting as a gamer because it's like if you can, bring together more of these outside third parties and stuff and get them all working in your ecosystem, maybe people that love achievements and love progression in games and they want to play on PC and a console and stuff will get these people onto that ecosystem. Now, in all perfect manner, I wish that all these PC Ubisoft games in the Xbox store would just be playable without having to get a Ubisoft Connect thing added to it or download their Ubisoft download store and shit like that. If I was able to just download the game and play the game from the Xbox store on PC, that would be the perfect thing. That would be what I want. More so than having anything to do with Ubisoft's download managers and whatnot over there. But for now, maybe it's be more acceptable for that stuff because like I said, I still like a lot of Ubisoft games, and if they can do more games where you can get them from your console to be playable on PC, and I can still get my achievements and stuff for them, that seems really interesting and really cool to me as an achievement whore and wanting to play Ubisoft games on my PC or a handheld or something like that. That's what I would like. So we'll see going forward on that. Anything else before we get into the games news? Like I said, I got through everything else. I got through the games I played because I didn't play many games again. And I think we'll get into the games news. That is the games news. That is now. And we're still over the 1 hour mark. We're at 1 hour and 36 minutes, but let's see if we can get through these games news section pretty quickly here.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game talk news, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Game talk news, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
Yeah. Okay, folks. So, got some games news here. Not all of it's good news, but like I said, when have we had lots of good news in the gaming sphere? So, if you didn't know, one of those game studios that left Microsoft was Double Fine Game Studios from Tim Schafer, which they just announced that they had to do a little bit of layoffs. They had to lay off 23 people that were at the company for a long time. So maybe those 23 people were like, maybe it's time for us to leave and go. And we've been there for a while. And maybe they're going to, I don't think they're going to get any big pay packages because I don't think Tim Schafer has that kind of money. But he had to lay off 23 people for the survival of their studio. Really sad. Now that they're back to being independent after years of Xbox ownership, which wasn't that many years of Xbox ownership. Let's see here. As a small, tightly knit team, these actions were not taken lightly. Only the survival of our studio would ever make us consider such a painful action. Our transition to become an independent company means becoming a size that we can sustain, which I don't think they could still sustain it, because here's the thing. They've been in this boat before, Double Fine, and I hate to say this, and I know Tim Schafer, he seems like a very great guy. I like what they come up with. They come up with some creative stuff, but it seems like they never make any games that make money, at least a lot of money. And he was in this boat before when he was trying to make Psychonauts 2 and they needed funding, or if the game came out the way it was going to come out and they didn't have the extra funding and stuff, and they would, bring out the game, and then eventually their studio would have shut down if Xbox didn't come swooping in and buying them at the time. I don't know where he's going to go from now and into the future, because it seems like it could just be the same situation going forward. Because what's going to change going forward between that and him keeping this company running and afloat? I highly, especially in this time frame when everything is fucked out there, it's going to be really tough for Tim Schafer and his company to make games and get games out there that make profit for their company, even though they make some really unique stuff. Ooh, other people are having more troubles in their bigger companies, and they do a lot better profiteering, and they still have troubles. And his is a smaller company, and I wish him all the luck, and I'm sorry for those people he had to let go. Yeah. Oh boy. Other news, there's some PlayStation Plus monthly games for August that are coming out for people, which these 3 games will be now available to claim on August 4th until August 31st for you PlayStation heads out there, especially if you don't got any other games besides Halo to play on your console, which frankly, what other games do you got to play on the PlayStation? Wolverine ain't coming out till September. Apparently, Dying Light 2 Stay Human Reloaded Edition is coming to PlayStation Plus monthly games for August. The Big Walk and Signalis? I don't know what Signalis is. So those are the 3 games coming to you guys, you lucky PlayStation gamers out there. So yeah, I don't know. I Dying Light here is okay, but the other games, I don't know. I think Xbox brings out better games on Xbox Game Pass most of the time. I think this month it's been a little lighter, except for Halo. There's Planet Crafter. That was pretty good, I gotta say. So it's like 2 games. Otherwise, a bunch of games were like, to me. But I don't know. On the PlayStation side, I still don't understand. Somebody please let me know in the comments or something. Why do you still stick with PlayStation? What is it about PlayStation that gets you to still stick with it? Is it the hardware? Is there something special about the software? I don't know, because like I said, I like value. I like somewhat unlimited amounts of content that I can get from like Game Pass, Ultimate, and stuff like that. The ability to play on multiple systems. I like all that stuff about the Xbox ecosystem on top of achievements and stuff. I just want to know why people still stick with Sony and PlayStation now, especially when they're taking away your digital stuff and your discs and everything else. And like I said, their newer controllers feel like garbage to me, and the console is unseemly, and it's not even cheaper. And I don't see too many games coming out from them, unlike Xbox. Even if you might not like all the games, I just don't get it, especially when they don't have the back end, and it seems like it's just atrocious. Like I said, I went on my PS3 and it's still atrocious, and it doesn't seem like a lively place for people to play. But I don't know. Why do people still play on PlayStation? I just don't get it. Is it just because it's a PlayStation? I don't get it. It's not like it's a Nintendo. I understand if people just want to play a Switch 2 or Switch and stuff like that. I get Nintendo, but PlayStation. And I used to love PlayStation, and then it just they stopped giving me the games that I wanted to play. They stopped giving me the value. They stopped with all that stuff, and I just, like I said, everything else with the controller being the last straw and how the games are, and I just stayed with Xbox and stuff like that, and PC. I don't know. You got to let me know, people. I would love to know if someone could let me know on that. This one's quick. Japan's patent officials refuse Nintendo's absurd defense of a Pokemon patent seem exhausted. So basically, Japan's patent office is rejecting one of the publisher's patents again for Pokemon and all this other stuff because, Nintendo's been very heinous with all their patents and this and all that other bullshit and legalizations and stuff. So Japan's saying, no. So, and they're saying, yeah, your patents are running thin over there. And for me, for catching, battling, and riding Pokemon, stuff like that. And they're saying something can't be patented if it doesn't demonstrate an invasive step indicating it wouldn't be obvious for other practitioners in the relevant field. And the JPO examiner found that the Pokemon mechanics that the application described were too similar to prior art or pre-existing works. So basically, they're saying, okay, Nintendo, you can't patent people riding on creatures or whatever, battling and catching creatures. No, that's all gone. So Nintendo is getting a little bit of a pushback from their bullshit, and that's because of the whole them versus the Pocket Pair, Pal World bullshit. As they were going after Pal World and stuff, and their legal teams are always on the defensive over there, and they just get crazier and crazier. And I'm glad that finally sometimes there's some pushback against the absurdity that is some of these Nintendo patents out there. 97 copies of an unreleased version of Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt were discovered in a Wisconsin warehouse. Only 5 were graded perfect 10s, the first in PSA history. Which, okay. So, Waukesha, excuse me, I'm butchering this name. Waukesha, Wisconsin is a suburb of a greater Milwaukee metropolitan area that boasts around 71,000 people. Its downtown center looks like it jumped straight out of the 50s, packed with old-fashioned soda shops, classic burger joints, and antique stores. Ooh, it makes me want to go live over there. That seems like a nice place. I like that stuff. Old-fashioned soda shops and burger joints? Oh, get me out of this this hellhole that we're in now. One of these stores is a vintage collectibles shop called One Stop Wonders, owned by a collector, Kevin Braun. It's got everything from VHS tapes to vintage games, vintage clothes, and anything else that's nostalgic Gen X millennial could want. Jason Ganos, owner of the website NintendoWare and an avid Nintendo fan, began working with Braun 3 months ago, initially helping him repair old pinball machines. After learning of Ganos' website, Braun asked him if he will be willing to help him sell some video games that had been languishing in his stock. At first, these were fairly normal titles for the PlayStation, GameCube, and Super Nintendo, but then Braun hit him with a doozy. According to the shop owner, a seller came into his store with a box of NES cartridges 6 years ago. That seller must have been really idiotic. These had somehow ended up with the seller's grandfather, who supposedly worked for a precious metal recovery service. The seller claimed that Nintendo had wanted to get rid of its stock quickly, and rather than dumping the cartridges, sold them to a recovery service for a small sum, allowing the service to extract gold from the circuit boards. Okay, that makes sense. Ganos admitted that he found the tale a bit fantastical, but it wasn't nearly as wild as what was actually in the box. The rectangular box, outfitted with 3 stickers with both English and Japanese techs had been sitting in bronze storage unit collecting dust for at least 6 years. One of the box's stickers stated that it had been shipped on December 1st, 1995, while another revealed it was stored inside 100 pieces of Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt for the NES. Oh, crap. This came to a surprise for Gamez, who noted that Duck Hunt was a pack-in game that came with the purchase of the NES console. By December of 95, the NES was already fairly late in its life cycle, making things even stranger. Inside the box were 97 individually wrapped copies of Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt, with a manual on the back of each cart. There's no telling where the other 3 copies went. Maybe some of them took them at the shop. You want to keep a couple for yourself. But Gamez was initially conceived they couldn't be very valuable, given that Duck Hunt was one of the most widely distributed games on NES. However, he was quickly proven wrong after uploading photos of the haul to a collector fan Facebook group, which he swiftly deleted after learning just how mind-blowing his discovery was. Gamez states that he was approached by a director of one of the world's biggest grading companies, as well as the director of PSA Games, who both warned him that something seemed off about the carts and asked him to take extensive photos of the inside of one of the games, circuit boards, and all. They both told me the same thing. These are either fake or these are brand new, never before seen variants of these games. He told us, like, the back of the label is different. The manual has different language on the back. There's different dates listed on the back of the manual, and the motherboard is completely different. There's text on the motherboard. I ran. Oh, where did I move to? Oh shit! I lost my thing, folks. Let's see here. Listen to the motherboard is completely different. There's text on the motherboard that is not on any known copies of Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. Judging by what they could see in the mail, these copies of Duck Hunt were manufactured in late '93, making them the latest prints of the game that have ever been seen thus far. Naturally, this is one of a kind find, drew lots of attention on Facebook group, prompting him to take down the post and immediately contacting PSA for authorization. Mere hours later, Gamez was on a plane to California with a suitcase packed with all 97 cartridges, terrified they'd get confiscated by TSA or worse, dismantled by the agency. Luckily, that didn't happen. The PSA was able to confirm that all 97 copies were totally legit. Not only that, but 5 of them were perfect 10s for grading, a number that PSA had never given to a NES cartridge before. The total breakdown is 60 9.8s, 31 9.6s, 5 10s, and 1 9.4. That's still pretty high and good. We were all shocked, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, getting all that graded. And there's more to the story, but you guys can read it on IGN for this stuff. I think it was pretty... however, the MPV of one of these copies, pristine condition, was in bronze temperature-controlled storage unit. Sheldon stated, if it hadn't been for the plastic baggies that each cartridge was stored in, they would have most certainly been in worse shape. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, being able to get like Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and there's a booklet. Maybe these cartridges were meant to be pack-ins for those NES systems, and then they just never were going to, make more consoles, so these were just extras, and they were going to get rid of them and stuff like that, and they had new shippers and stuff. That stuff happens. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a very interesting story. I found that very interesting. You never know what you can find out there. You're still finding stuff from the old days of Nintendo and stuff like that. Bethesda has a new logo to celebrate its 40th anniversary, and it harkens back to the studio's old Terminator games. So they got it. They got the new Bethesda Softworks established 1986, and it looks like the old Terminator reddish logo thing. Now, they stated that they're not doing any new Terminator games, at least not yet. You never know. Maybe we can get a new Terminator RPG out of them or something. That would be cool. But They're just doing it to make themselves look a little bit better. That's pretty cool. I hope they all don't get let go and fired and whatnot still over there, but at least the new logo will make them seem a little prettier. I always like updated logos of companies like that. And something from the old Terminator games that they used to do, like the RPGs, which I never got to play, which I wish I could. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool, especially if they make a new one. The RAM crisis is getting so bad, AMD is bringing back a 4 gigabyte graphics cards. So, AMD has launched a new graphics card, the Radeon RX 950, an 8 gigabyte model launching at $279, and that you can find one in stores shelves soon, and a 4 gigabyte model that'll be exclusive to OEM partners, according to Tom's Hardware. The 4 gigabyte version will have a slower 64-bit memory bus and the memory bandwidth at just 288 gigabytes per second. So not only is there not a lot of memory, it's quite slow as well. So you're going to have to understand that. But AMD is bringing out these newer graphics cards because they got some of the memory still in stock, and some of the other stuff they wanted to get out to cheaper graphics cards for people to get out more graphics cards so people can make their PCs. But also AMD just announced that they are reportedly planning to raise GPU prices as well because everything is getting more expensive, especially RAM and stuff. And they said, do not look forward to future RAM prices to be cheaper, that they will eventually go up, that they had some extra stock of RAM and stuff to make these graphics cards and other cards. So, but in the near future, they are promising that they will be raising prices for future hardware, especially if TSMC raises prices on wafers and chip manufacturing over there. You're going to see CPUs going up as well in pricing and stuff like that as well. NVIDIA graphics cards are also about to get even more expensive, with Ramageddon continuing. Even though NVIDIA graphics cards aren't exactly known for being affordable right now, they're going to get even more expensive. The article claims that NVIDIA is going to raise prices on its graphics cards as much as 30%. So basically, you're thinking if 30%, if you're talking about like one of those RTX 5090 graphics cards, when they are at $5,000, which is crazy. Think about it going up 30%. That would be $6,500 for that graphics card. For a RTX 5090 graphics card. $6,500. That's crazy. Or if you're talking about an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070, which launched back for $650, which I don't have those. I chose not to get a 5070. I got the 4090 or whatever I got. I'm good with my 40 series graphics card. But they released the 5070 for $549 back in February of 2025. Right now it's going around $650 to get that graphics card. When they raise it by 30% for the price increase, it will go up to $850 for that graphics card. And that doesn't even mean, they didn't even talk about what kind of memory is in these graphics cards. Are they going to still have the 12 gigabyte variants of them? Are they going to reduce how much memory is going to be in those graphics cards? That's something that you don't want to know. And then final news, if you like it or not, which I'm sure most of you will not be liking it. I don't really care because EA has not been my company for a long time. They haven't been making many games that I care about. But EA states the regulatory approvals for its Saudi PIF acquisition have been obtained. The deal should be done next week. So I guess the EA deal with the Saudis is going through. The $55 billion buyout is expected to be completed on August 4th, and nobody's pushing back because I don't think many people give a shit about EA. Do you give a shit about EA? I don't know. I don't really give a shit about EA right now. I don't think there's many EA games that I actually buy anymore. You know, like I said, I have The Sims. I have my old Command & Conquer games. They don't make any good new games that I care about. I don't buy any of their sports games, and I Didn't play the Battlefield game. I heard it's okay, but still. So, okay, I guess nobody pushed back on them. So in September 2025, that it was to be acquired by the group of the private investors, including Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, PIF, in a deal valuing the company at around $55 billion. Now in a SEC filing published on Thursday, EA states the deal has passed regulatory scrutiny and can now go ahead, unlike that Warner Brothers Paramount deal, which I hope falls through. I really do. We don't need any more consolidation of that kind of industry. The gaming industry, yeah, there's a lot of still gaming companies out there. I don't think this is a big thing. And it's not like Microsoft trying to buy EA. It's the Saudis. And EA hasn't been really that decent of a company for a while now. At least to me. They have not been making any new games. Like, if they made new Command & Conquer games, if they made new, I'm trying to think, Dead Space and Criterion games, like if they made the Burnout series again and stuff, sure, I'd be like, okay, a little upset, but they don't make any of those games anymore. So why do I care? Why do I care? I don't. They don't make any, like, the only games that I think they make still is that Star Wars, the Star Wars games, stuff like that Jedi Survivor, which I do have Jedi Survivor. I still haven't played it yet, but I got that game, but that's probably it. Otherwise, I don't really care about any of their other stuff. No. So the completion of the merger remains subject to satisfaction or waiver of the remaining customary closing conditions set forth by the merger agreement. When completed, the deal will be the largest ever leveraged buyout in history. And then, the EA is going to have a lot of debt on it. So good luck to that. Saudi Arabia will own 93.4% of EA once the deal is done. And yeah, good luck on that. Affinity Partners, an American investment firm formed by Donald Trump's son-in-law. Okay, there you go. Will own a remaining 1.1%, and then Silicon Valley will own 5.5% of the shares. What is it? Oh, Silver Lake Partners. Okay, so don't really give a shit. Like I said, EA has not been EA for a long time. They've just been A for a while. And to me, and if I don't know about the rest of you out there, maybe you like buying their sports games still. Maybe you like playing football and stuff like that. So I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, it's just a non-starter for me. Don't really care. Now, Ubisoft, that's a different story if they get bought out or something happens to them, but they haven't been very healthy, and, the leadership's been a little, but we'll see. We'll see going on. So that is the Gamez Newz. So I got this podcast at around 2 hours. It's a little over 2 hours because of the music and stuff, but yeah, I got down good. But I had a lot to talk about. I had a lot to speak on behalf of everything. But yeah, going forward, I just hope everything goes good in gaming. I don't know. It's gonna be some tough times going ahead. Especially if you're not able to hunker down in November to play your GTA 6s and stuff on your consoles of choice and stuff like that and whatnot. Yeah, it's going to be a drastically different kind of future going on in the gaming industry. And high hopes or not, at least I got stuff to play right now. That's good. That's always good to have stuff to play. And then other things, like I said, for this week, going on this week, before I leave, I got, today, Monday, the podcast, as you know. Wednesday, I got the final episode of Game Through with Halo Infinite going up. That's going to be the finale for Halo Infinite, my playthrough through that, which was surprisingly very fun. And I'll talk more about that on next week's podcast because I will be done with that, and I can talk even more about that on my playthrough of Halo Infinite. And surprisingly liking it, which I was surprised myself. And then Friday, like I said, will be Game On live with hopefully Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Hopefully I can play the game and I can actually hear Edwards talk and all that. If not, we'll just play through it, just doing the ship-to-ship stuff. And outside of the main campaign stuff, I'll do my playthrough through that. And then hopefully on Saturday after that, I will be playing a bunch of online multiplayer with Gears of War E-Day multiplayer beta. And then I'll do a Let's Play of that for the following week of that. And that's pretty much what the schedule is going to be like going forward. And then we'll see going forward beyond that. We'll see what happens with my Game On streams and whatnot. And then I got to think of a new game through game for Wednesdays. But until that I'll just do some Let's Plays again, and maybe I'll get back into Minecraft again or something. Well, I'll think of some stuff. We'll think of some stuff. There's always stuff to do. It's just me thinking and planning. And then, like I said, I got a bunch of home stuff to do. But I'm going to go grill myself some chicken now. Yes, I'm going to grill myself some chicken and make some hot dogs on the grill and stuff like that. Looks like it's going to rain. I better check out there. I don't care. Rain or shine, I can grill. So everybody, until next time, I am Mr. Mike. This has been the GamezAttack podcast. Go to my website, OldFreakyGamer.com, to watch, listen, and see all the stuff I've done. Go to my Old Freaky Gamer YouTube page on YouTube at Old Freaky Gamer, and watch my live streams at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday nights at live on OldFreakyGamer.com, YouTube.com live at OldFreakyGamer, or Twitch.tv at OldFreakyGamer. And until next time, folks, this is Mr. Mike signing out saying game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button, and this show is now game over.
Old freaky gamer in the zone, level up the unknown. Gamez Newz, it's all a thrill, conquering worlds with skill on skill. Game on, game hard, streaming stars, we're never far. Game on, game hard, in this conquest, we're avatars. The mic calls the plays, gaming chair, endless days. Podcast echoes through the streams, living out our pixel dreams. Hit that button, go live, go live. In this realm where games survive. GamezAttack with a rebel spark. We're lighting up the digital dark. Game on, game hard, streaming stars, we're never far.
Game over.